looking at background, and as you traveled all over the world and now living in California,
Mm-hmm.
so many Hindu gurus like Rajneesh and Varsha and Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, Bhakti Vedanta,
Mm-hmm.
Deepak Chopra. And how do you look at those Hindu gurus? Are they are they into deception, or are they after spirituality? What is your view of them?
Yeah, I'm I was fairly naive growing up. I was naive until I met Ravi. Um, I tended to give religious leaders the benefit of the doubt. I assume there's a lot of good spiritual people who have spiritual agendas, and even though there's a lot of bad ones, most are good. And I'm much more cynical now about that, especially with evangelical Christians. But I think my cynicism spills over to all religions. I think that religion, the institutionalized brand of religion, whether it's Zen Buddhism or Christianity or Hinduism or Islam, um, it invites celebrities. It really needs charismatic guru type people in order to survive, in order to draw in the audience, in order to sell the books, in order to make the religion exciting to the masses. And that simply attracts people who aren't very interested in spiritual things. One of the best ways to become famous in the United States, and probably in most countries, you become a famous actor or entertainer, you become a famous athlete, or you become a famous politician. And if those are too hard for you, you become a famous religious figure. So it's one of the avenues to fame and fortune and all the side benefits that come from that, like sex, prestige. And so I look at religious leaders with much more suspicion than I used to.
And do you think Ravi patterned his life after these Hindu gurus? Like they also came from India, started their missions here. And do you feel like Ravi started a Christian version of the same thing?
You know, I don't I don't I haven't seen much of Ravi having close contact with the sadhus and the Hindu gurus. So he seemed to not connect with his own religious culture in India when he was there. He left when he was about 20, and during those 20 years, he didn't have much contact, at least from his autobiography and his writings. He didn't have much contact with the Hindu culture. He was into cricket, and then he was into Christianity, and never really much of a person with spiritual interests. So I don't think, I'm not aware of him modeling his fraudulent ministry particularly after Hindu people. Um, there were plenty of other models around for him as well. And also, I don't know that he needed a model. It fell into his lap. He was this tremendous, from his earliest days as a teenager in India, when he was converted, he found fame and friends and adulation by getting up on the stage and preaching. He was immediately a good preacher, and that gave him all the power he needed to start a ministry based on his charisma, and a ministry that allowed him to then do things that we're now hearing about that were really not consistent with his religion. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.